Hi, I'm Christina from hairstyle.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how I blow dry my hair using my Dyson Airwrap. I don't think I've made a video since I first got this tool, and safe to say I love it. I've even traveled with it. I love my Dyson supersonic hairdryer, especially the diffuser when I'm styling my hair curly. But when I'm wearing my hair smooth, I've sort of switched. Sometimes I'll do a regular blowout with a brush using my supersonic, but the Airwrap makes me go from damp, wet hair right through to waves all in one go. So I'll show you exactly how I like to use it. Oh, and if you haven't seen my previous video, I talked about a new hair treatment I've been using called K Hair Pep. So I'll link to that. You should have a look at that one as well. All right, let's get into this box. So I'm sure, I can't remember if I did an unboxing or whatever happened, but the Dyson Airwrap, which comes in a sort of kit, I keep it out all the time. I use it that often. I'm saying that I probably blow dry my hair smooth maybe once a fortnight, maybe once a month, because I do wear my hair curly most of the time. But the thing I love about the Airwrap is that when I use it in my hair, I can get it to last 4 days. Last year I went traveling. I went to South Africa for 10 days, and I didn't wash my hair the whole time I was away because my Airwrap blow dry lasted me the whole trip, which is kind of incredible. So this is why I love the styles I get from this, and I would also say that the reason my hair is getting so long is because I'm using these tools now and treatments that are just reducing the amount of heat damage I'm giving to my hair. So it comes with a few brush attachments. I have to say they haven't been ones that I go to all the time. You can use the brush attachments if you have curlier hair to kind of stretch out your roots, but I find I'm not so worried. I tend to get an okay result using just the barrels. And the trick with using the barrels, and I have to do this every single time, is look at them in the mirror. They've got arrows printed all the way around them, and you use one for one side of your head and one for the other. But if you look in the mirror, and I can see I need this barrel will curl this way away from my face, and this one will curl this way. You can reverse it if you like, but that way I prefer it's a little bit more flattering, always having your waves off your face. And so I make sure I just sort them first. Now, if this was a regular day and I wasn't filming, straight out of the shower, I'd pop this attachment on, which is the sort of like the mini supersonic hairdryer. But it's still pretty powerful for a small hairdryer. And I'd use that just to blast any excess water out of my hair. But because I've done a treatment and this is just filming my other video, my hair's almost getting a little dry. So I'm gonna go straight into curling. So I'm gonna pop, I usually do this side of my hair first, just double checking. I'm gonna pop this side on and clip up my hair. I'll show you what I do. Now I usually work out where I want my part to sit because it smooths my hair that way. So I'm gonna go around about here, and about that's where I'm gonna part my hair. And then down the center of the back of my hair, just roughly part it in two. And the side that I'm going to do last, I'm just going to clip all the way up and out of the way. So I clip that side up out of the way, and on this side I'm going to start at the bottom layers. Actually quickly, I can feel my hair's drying. So what I'm going to do first is just these couple of front layers, just to make sure I smooth them out really well. And funnily enough, what I'm usually using when I'm there is I just grab the brush from the kit as well and use that just to smooth through my hair to make sure I don't have any knots. And I tend to take around this much hair. And with it, hopefully you've seen a few tutorials, but what you do is hold it about 10 centimeters from the end of your hair, about roughly here, halfway. Turn your Airwrap on. It'll wrap the bottom of the hair around the barrel, and then I bring it up to do the rest. So there's a couple of tricks I use when using this. I use my hand to sort of smooth my hair back against the barrel. That way I'm trying to get a little bit more tension at the root, hopefully try and smooth that hair out a little bit more. The Airwrap has a setting, so the way you use it is to turn it on, and it's on hot and it will heat your hair. And then once it's all wrapped up in the curl, I switch it to the cold shot and hold that on there for 5 to 10 seconds per piece. and then that sets it in that shape, and that allows me to let the curl out and it will stay in shape. And always, I remember, just gonna say this up front, they always end up looking really awful at the start. Like I have this full sausage curl set up, but once you brush them out, once they relax down, you get a really nice sort of cross between a bouncy blowout and like nice waves. So I think it works really, really well. So just bear with me through that sausage curl stage and we'll get to the good waves afterwards. So I'm trying to really smooth that over and then switch to cold. And when I can feel that's really cool, just turn it off and pull it down. And see, I wasn't joking about that sausage curl. It's full on, but watch, it'll drop. Now, the reason I just do those front sections is because my hair's naturally curly, it will frizz a lot more. So by doing that, it just allows them to smooth out, won't dry to any frizz before I get a chance to get through all of this hair and get back to the front. So usually it's a bit of a trick of mine with any blow dry. Do a bit of the front first because you always get too tired by the time, and your hair's too dry by the time you get back up to that. So do that section first. Then I'm gonna take a section at the bottom here and clip all of that hair out of the way. And again, can just use a regular brush, but I've got my Airwrap here, so I'm just using that brush attachment. And I'm going to split this into two. So try and hold a bit of tension so that I know that this hair isn't going to wrap around, not crooked, but loosely. That way I'm definitely going to get more frizz. The tension is always key when you're styling your hair. And I hold it quite taut here, so then I know it wraps around smoothly. Now, trust me, these will drop into much nicer waves afterwards. But what I tend to do is just pop the curls back over my shoulder and bring the sections forward as I'm styling. It's kind of just a repetition of this, so I might speed this up a little bit. I just remembered something. I forgot to put a heat protectant in my hair. Lucky it's just here, one sec. Whoops. Always use a heat protectant. I can't believe I forgot. I was filming that other video and took my eye off the ball. So I am using the Keratar Cement Thermique. I have used this for a while, and sections I've already done I'm just going to have to miss out, but I will apply that to the rest of my hair as I keep going. Okay, time. I'm going to apply some more product to all the rest of my hair that's still wet. Now, when it comes to doing some of the sections at the back here, I try not to style them too far forward because I don't want to create sort of gaps or any weird shapes at the back of my head. So I'll take a section at a time again, but I'll try and hold the Airwrap a little bit closer at the back here. Okay, now if a curl comes out that looks a little bit like this, it means that the hair hasn't completely dried. So I thought I could feel that. I don't know if you could see, I was touching it then. So what I do is I just brush it through and do it again. It can sometimes happen if you have a larger section. And particularly my hair where I know it's just going to dry frizzy, I will redo it. Ha, that's better. I can see as I'm drying this curl that there's a few bumps at the top. So I pull it out a little bit and then roll it back in, and it helps to straighten it out and create that tension so my hair is drying smooth and into waves. Now when it comes to deciding up the sections at the front, I tend to, instead of keep going straight up like this, I'll tend to do slightly diagonal sections. Just feel like it makes the waves sit a little bit nicer. But it's only because I have a lot of hair. Normally you won't really need to worry too much. Okay, so now we've got that side done. I'm just going to repeat and do all the same on the other side. And of course remembering to put in some more heat protectant on this side. So that's all of it curled, and the nice thing is while you're doing it, it's cooled as well, so it is pretty much set into those curls. I can still say though that I'm pretty warm under these lights and doing my hair in a closed room. So my hair still feels pretty warm. So I'm gonna leave it just for a minute and then I come back and brush it out. So that was actually only a minute. It was just enough time for me to get my Mason Pearson hairbrush. I'm using the bristle and nylon one this time so I can get through these, actually brush these waves out and smooth them. And I also grabbed a little bit of hairspray because I'm just gonna smooth down that little surface layer of frizz that is building up on my hair right now. All right, this is the fun bit. I love this bit. Oh. So you can see you don't need to worry about those sausage curls. They do brush out into like you've just had a salon blow dry, and that is the finish that I really love, that sort of bouncy big hair. I'm gonna spray a little bit of hairspray on my hand and use that to smooth down. And then I'm just going to brush that through too. And that's it really. I could put a little bit of serum or oil because my ends are a little bit dry. I do need a haircut, but I'm pretty happy with how that is. And it's just given me light, bouncy hair that I know is going to last for days. Forgetting to apply heat protectant has actually given me a really good example to show you, because in these underneath layers, I think you can see how much more frizz I've got in this section of my hair than I do in this side. And I would attribute that to the product I've used. I think it's amazing to see the difference of how much more frizz I have in these lower layers compared to the side I used the heat protectant cream. So not only does it protect your hair from heat, but it can really help seal in and help style your hair a little bit better. So I can't believe the difference. I really didn't think it would make that big a difference, but obviously it does. So always use a heat protectant. Before I put my Airwrap away, I do just want to talk through a couple of tips for using this as well. It will actually automatically roll your hair onto the barrel, but sometimes I also like to manually roll it up myself. It's got a swivel cord which makes it really easy, it doesn't get tangled around itself, so it's designed to do either. The reason I would actually manually twirl it instead of just letting my hair capture is because I want to make sure that I'm getting my hair in a dead straight line, wrapped flat like a ribbon around the barrel. If your hair is naturally straight or just much of a smoother wave, you don't need to worry so much. But when I'm trying to stretch out my hair as well, I find that that technique really works. And it might even help if you've got straight hair but you get a lot of frizz. Doing that really works. And then the other trick with just sort of where I use my hand just to sort of wrap the hair around the barrel does two things. It helps smooth in those little tiny hairs and baby hairs that are escaping and smooth them into that curl. And it also lets me tell how my hair is drying. It helps me feel if I know my hair's still damp, and I can tell when I'm ready to switch to the cool function as well. So that helps as I'm monitoring it as I go. Normally I do this, so I'm just sitting in front of a mirror doing it myself. I pop my earpods in and listen to a podcast, so the time goes really quickly. Now in this video, I think it's taken me from go to woe 45 minutes, but that is with me talking, redoing it and being super perfect. So I would probably say I could do this in 20 to 25 minutes if it's just me and I'm in a rush trying to get out the door. So for me to get to this sort of result in that time is incredible, and I know how much it lasts in my hair. And the thing I love as well is that I'm not doing it at a really high heat damage and then putting like a flat iron to really kind of burn that curl into my hair. It's actually there with a lot of volume and bounce and not too flat. So I really do, even if you've got a lot of hair, I think it's quite a good tool to use. And if you've got a normal amount of hair, I think it's incredible. It'll give you really good results at home. So that is my little demo of my Airwrap, particularly my favorite attachments, the barrels that I use the most in my hair. And just to let you know that I am definitely still using it years later. I absolutely love it and I travel with it. I've had to work out a system now where I pack one less pair of shoes so I can pack my supersonic hairdryer and diffuser and the Airwrap, because when I'm away for a long period of time, I can't miss both. I really like having both options while I'm away. If you've got any questions or you'd like to see any other tutorials, please leave me a comment down below, or you can find me over on hairromance.com where I've got lots more tutorials as well. And over on Instagram, I'm at hairromance, and I would love to see your hair, so tag me and come and have a chat over there as well. Have fun with your hair, and I'll see you next time. Bye.